Hey, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly, whoops, all the cards just fell. This is your weekly oracle card reading, and for this week's reading, I'm going to be using the Oracle L'Absolu. All right, so let's just shuffle the deck here. Now, my intention with this reading is that it will give us an overview of the week ahead, and it will hopefully give us some fresh ideas and inspiration for the next few days. So I'm going to draw 3 cards. Each card is going to represent a portion of the upcoming week. All right. Okay, so let's start with the first card. The first card is for the beginning of the week, so Monday, Tuesday-ish. And we have manipulation. So this card has 4 keywords on it. So manipulation, tenacity, servitude, and constraints. This actually reminds me of the devil in a tarot deck. Kind of a similar theme. So the message I get from this card is that this week, not only are we longing to be more free, but we're actually ready to start becoming more aware of the things that keep us limited and the things that keep us small. So the image on this card is of like a kind of an evil puppet master, and this person being kind of like a puppet and having strings pulled. So the wisdom of this card is to be more aware, is really to be more self-aware in your life this week, and notice, even ask yourself, how am I being manipulated in any way? How am I being manipulated? I have noticed myself, like just noticing that, and I never used to watch the news, but I kind of have been lately, and I'm just seeing how manipulative it is, how it always has this particular narrative that it's pushing, and it can be very manipulative. And so that's what I'm noticing in myself, that a lot of media is very manipulative and tends to pull a lot of strings, and it tends to make me feel anxious and fearful. So having that knowledge and that awareness, I then have to ask myself, so what am I going to do with that knowledge? Am I going to stop consuming media altogether? Am I going to just be more conscious of what forms of media I consume? Am I going to limit, how often I watch the news so that I'm not watching it daily? How am I going to deal with that? And I haven't figured that out yet, but of course, whatever it is that's pulling your strings might be something very, very different than what's pulling mine. So just being aware of that. That's really how you're going to step into your power this week, is bringing more awareness around that. Let's have a look at the middle of the week, Wednesday and Thursday. Whoops. Okay, here we have, I feel like my eyesight's not getting better as I age. The child. Okay, so we have the child. Oh God. Okay, I'm going to have to move. Okay. So the keywords on this card are insouciance, curiosity. Oh, no, it doesn't say that. It says recklessness. Insouciance, that was the French word. I don't know that word. Recklessness, curiosity, immaturity, and gift. Okay. Recklessness, curiosity, immaturity, gift. This reminds me so much of the Fool, and how the Fool in the tarot, he's very adventurous, he's curious, he looks at the world like a child does, like with a fresh set of eyes, and he sees the opportunities and the possibilities in life. He can also be foolish and reckless and immature. But in a way, this is kind of a gift. There's a gift in being able to look at the world with young eyes. And it's ironic that I had a hard time reading this card because my eye is obviously not that young anymore. I'm like squinting to try to read the print on these cards. Okay, so what does this card mean for you? What I'm getting here is middle of the week is a time to really allow yourself to look at the world and look at your life and whatever situation you find yourself in with a young set of eyes. Ask yourself, if I was 5 years old right now, how might I see this situation? It's really interesting how kids see the world differently. Like, I remember when I was a little kid, I would see people who had, like, were in like a wheelchair or had like crutches or something like that. And I would be like almost envious of them. Like, oh, that looks so fun. Like, oh man, that guy gets to be in a wheelchair. Like, that's fun. And I remember someone asking me what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I said, I wanted to walk with crutches because I remember my neighbor had just gotten out of the hospital. He had some kind of ankle injury and he had crutches. And I remember thinking like, wow, like that looks like something I want to do. And so it's just, you know, interesting how kids see things very different than how, you know, adults see things. And I think we owe it to ourselves to allow ourselves to approach things with that kind of youthful curiosity. So midweek, allow yourself the space to be curious and maybe even a little bit immature. Maybe you're going to be a little bit reckless this week. Maybe you're going to take a few risks, and maybe you're going to share how you really feel with someone who's close to you. Maybe you're not always going to be the mature, perfect, on guard person that you have been for the last little while. So that's what I'm getting from this card. Okay, let's look at the third card. This is for the weekend. And this is gestation. Oh, this is cool. Okay. Gestation. So the 4 keywords on this card are gestation, patience, waiting, and development. Kind of makes me think of like the 7 of Pentacles in the tarot deck, or even the Empress in some ways. All right. So the message I get from this card is that things may not be happening or unfolding as quickly as you would like. And that can be frustrating. But know that whatever you've been putting your energy into, whatever you've been thinking about and focusing on, it's still in that gestational phase where the changes that are happening under the surface, on the inside, and the results are not yet obvious in the outside world. But that doesn't mean that nothing is happening. Another thing I get from this card is that you want to protect some of your ideas for things right now. You know how sometimes you'll get like a really great idea for something and you immediately share it with someone else, and then they're maybe not as supportive or as excited as you thought you would be, and then you kind of lose some enthusiasm for that idea too. That's why when we have a brand new idea, when it's still young, we want to kind of protect it first. We want to allow it time in that gestational phase. We want to give it time to grow and unfold before thrusting it out into the world, because it's still vulnerable. This card is encouraging you to be patient and to see that time of waiting as an opportunity. So if you find yourself feeling antsy this weekend or frustrated, take a deep breath and ask yourself, How can I cultivate patience right now? How can I be more patient? Because the more patient you are, the more you support the development of whatever it is that you're focusing on or wanting to happen or working towards. Okay, let's look at these 3 cards together. I'm just looking for, repeating themes or symbols, anything that's kind of jumping out at me. And I invite you to do the same. So feel free to share your own ideas and insights on these cards in the comments section. So far, I think I've said everything. I don't think there's anything else I want to add. Yeah, there's nothing else I want to add. I think I've covered it all. It looks like an interesting week. It's like a week that is going to require us to really be more self-aware and to be aware of how things outside of us, like other people, the things that we consume, whether that be media or whatever, the energies outside of us, how, really understanding how all of that affects us, because we're never an island. We're always interacting with these things, and these things are always affecting us, and we're affecting the things around us. It's this exchange. So I think that the first card, which is called Manipulation, is about really being aware of that, and kind of waking up to that. And, the Child is about really kind of starting something new, or at least looking at things with a new perspective, a fresh set of eyes. And then the third card, Gestation, it's just saying, whatever it is that you're working towards, don't lose hope, don't give up yet, but you want to protect that thing as if it's like a precious seed that needs your love and care and nurturing. And in your patience, so see that time of waiting and that time of patience as being kind of like a pregnancy where you are growing something and you need to nurture it and care for it and protect it before it can come out into the world. I hope that makes sense. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week. Please check out my website, dailytarotgirl.com. I'm going to put the link to my site below this video. I've got tons of fun tarot resources for you, lots of exercises, videos, deck reviews, all kinds of fun stuff for you to check out. So thank you for watching and have a great week.